Hello everyone. Let's talk about your writing assignment. This paper will be a biographical essay and its purpose is threefold. First, you get to demonstrate your ability to write and think critically. Second, you get to learn about someone you think is important. Third, you will determine what makes that person historically relevant. As far as college papers go, this is a pretty short one. I ask you to write it between 2.5 to 3 pages using the APA style. Please use a font 12. Spacing should be standard double, and please title the paper correctly, including your name and date in the title. I don't require footnotes, but I do ask you to include a works cited page in that same document or file, if you will. Also, I have included a condensed checklist for you to follow in this section. You may turn your paper in at any time before the due date. In fact, I encourage you to do so. If you choose to add a photograph, that's fine. I like to see the picture of a person in there. Makes it nice. But be sure that you add the citation for that image in the works cited page. It's good to get in the habit of that, to do that. And you, most importantly now, it doesn't take, a picture doesn't take the place of text. So, think about that. Okay, most importantly, the paper is worth 15% of your grade, so if you fail to turn in the paper, you might lose a letter grade. Think about that. So, regarding the content, what I want you to do is to choose a historically relevant person anywhere from 1870 to the present. You're free to choose anyone that interests you from any walk of life, including sports, music, literature, science, war, politics, technology, whatever it is. Choosing this person is, I think, an important part of the assignment. Since you don't need to purchase a textbook for this course, I suggest you go to the OpenStax American History textbook. That's an online free textbook. You can use that to search for someone to write about, if you'd like. Just remember that textbook starts from the beginning of American history, so you'd want to pick it up about chapter 17 or 18 if you want to look through it to find someone to write about. Now, you can also always just use Google to search for Americans to write about. I did that, but be careful, right? Because there are lots of sites out there that aren't appropriate. Think about that. That's an important thing to understand, is the quality of sites and all that. So I just Googled it, famous Americans, right? And what came up was a pretty good site. The Smithsonian Institution has a site that you can go to. I put the link in the script, the video script that goes with this video. So it lists 100 of the most famous Americans, but just remember in this case, they go all the way back to the beginning of American history, so you can't use anyone before 1870. So you need to think about that when you pick that person, okay? Now, this brings us to another area, and that's the subject of sources. I require a minimum of 3 sources. You can do more. They must be academic in origin, otherwise I'll start deducting points. You have to use the McNeese Library or another qualified academic library to find your source material, right? Okay. Now, you should use there are 3 basic types of material, source material that you want to use, one of each, right? You want some primary sources, a primary source, a secondary source, at least. You can use an encyclopedia, but only one. Be careful about that. About using encyclopedias. This is in essence an encyclopedia article anyway. It's kind of what you're doing. So there you go. So you need to use at least 1 primary source and 2 secondary sources is the idea. So it's a great temptation, again, to go back to that Google search and just do that. That's not going to work, okay? It's just not acceptable to use Wikipedia as a source in an academic paper. I love Wikipedia. Everybody loves Wikipedia, okay? But it's not, you can't use that as a source. If you do, I'll take off big points, okay? So don't do that. Now, that being said, you can start, okay? It doesn't bother me if you start with Wikipedia to get a thumbnail sketch of something or as a starting place, to put you forward. You can even look at the sources that they've used for that article as well. So, you think about that. Be honest about what you're doing. All right, just don't quote Wikipedia. If you are unsure how to proceed any further, then you know what you can do. You can actually call a librarian. McNeese has librarians. They have a library, and you can call them and ask them for help. Most of you, or many of you, are online students. You can still call the library and all that. You're going to have to use that McNeese library. They have lots and lots of information. It's marvelous, really. They have digital information and tons of it. Okay, there's no shortage of electronic information that you can draw on from the McNeese library. It's truly amazing. Okay, JSTOR. Talk to a librarian; they'll help you. Anyway, so they'll have journals, again, newspapers, all sorts of primary and secondary information that you can draw on. Journals, journal articles. And now, I will say this, navigating libraries' electronic databases can be a bit challenging. Again, that's why the librarians are there to help. Okay, I provide a website link that discusses proper types of information for college research paper. It's actually APA, OWL, Purdue. You may be familiar with it. That link's going to be there available for you in this section. Now, just a few tips. Don't plagiarize anything. Don't copy and pretend that it's your work. That will earn you an automatic 0. Plagiarizing is simply stealing somebody else's ideas. It's easy to spot. It's real easy. And then I have like some programs that help me in that regard. But so don't do that. You'll just get a 0 for the assignment with no chance of doing it again. Next, when you write, just try to write as simply as you can. And don't try to be flowery or use big words. I like words, and they can be, if it's the right word for the right idea, that's all you want to do. But get your message across in the simplest language possible, okay? And that's a sign of good writing. So do that, and don't always be brilliant if you can, okay? You can do that. Just be clear. Okay, once your paper is complete and you want to send it to me, you don't have to wait till the due date. As I've said, just use the upload link and turn in your essay. You might send me an email alerting me that you sent it, and that way I can go and get it graded earlier. It may help you to view the script for this video, and you can access that below. Okay, and again, just one last reminder: there is a checklist that you can go through for your paper. I think it'd be helpful. Anyway, well, good luck on the assignment, and thank you.